Crisis unfolded. The military junta seized power in a 2021 coup, sparking mass protests that quickly turned into an armed rebellion. In the past 4 years, at least 6,200 civilians have been killed by the military and more than 3 million people have been displaced. Several attempts to reach a ceasefire, including a brief pause after an earthquake in April, have failed. Myanmar's military now controls only about 21% of the country, mostly the main cities. Now, resistance and ethnic rebel groups hold 42%, while the rest remains fiercely contested. The military government says it plans to hold general elections in December. Well, for more on this, we're joined now by Kyaw Win, who is an executive director with Burma Human Rights Network. He is in London for us. Thanks so much for being with us here. First of all, what message do you think the junta is sending by holding this ceremony and peace forum, given what has been happening in the country?
Thanks, Tom, for having me today. This is actually a desperate action of the ruthless regime to try to fool and try to validate the sham election in coming 2000 December. But the reality and behind this is a regime that killing and murdering and committing genocide. You name all the international crime that these people never committed. Every international crime they have been committed: war crime, crime against humanity, genocide. The same general who commit genocide against Rohingya, and they now talk about the peace. Let me tell you that this NCA is not a peace agreement; it is a ceasefire agreement. The reason behind the ceasefire agreement is in those times the military has no resources or capacity to attack all the ethnic arms groups. So what they have done is they bring them into a ceasefire just in the limbo. Then they can attack one by one those who are, seem to be their target.
Right, so just on that point, so why would the armed groups agree to this ceasefire if they think or know that is the plan?
But actually, this was, that time international investment was so millions of dollars has been invested in the, we call it peace industry. So we know that that's going to collapse because the military never been serious about that. For them, peace means defeating other opponents. That's what they're doing now. So we know from the beginning. But the arms group, there's so many arms groups hoping some of them have a different agenda. But at the end, the 2021, the military itself has killed this NCA, and now they are trying to use as a peace. That so-called peace is, we know that. But unfortunately, what I see now is there are so many think tanks and some regional organizations, they try to buying this. And one thing I'm very clarify from here, people in Burma are not denying for the diplomacy or dialogue or any peace talks. What we are demanding is three things. The most important three things must be meet before we talk. The first thing is the military must agree to go back to the barracks. They have no role in politics. Second thing is people of Burma, that's inspiration of people of Burma, to build democratic, federal democratic country which have an equal right for everyone. And the third thing is transitional justice. Those who committed crimes, heinous crime, must be brought to justice. Okay. Without these three things, any dialogue will not going to affect.
So how do you bring those into effect? I mean, there's elections going to be held in December. I believe you called them a sham. So I take it you don't think that there's any credibility to them whatsoever. So what do you think needs to happen next?
Why this is not credible? Because it is not covering the whole country. The military control only 30% of the country, so they are faking the election, saying that they are first phase, second phase, third phase. That doesn't make sense, at all. There is no election which phase by phase. Actually, there's a one time, one place, every 1 time and 1 hour, every country, the whole country need to do the election. That's how the free and fair election is about. And you see the law, there have been so many people has been arrested, jailed and killed because of the election. They disagree with the election. Things are there, and the freedom of speech has been totally restricted. So what kind of election is going to do it? It is only to validate the military regime and the ruthless regime and the criminal regime to continue.
Okay. You have called for international accountability, like for the crimes committed by the military, as have many others. I mean, do you see any progress on that front? And what have you really made of the international response?
So far, we have a IIMM that documenting all the crimes of the military has been committed, and they have so many thousands of evidence has been collected. But important thing is the international community need to have a political will to bring them to justice. But the problem right now is what we are seeing is now the military propaganda machine has been selling out that the military is now looking for peace, and the people who are against the military are not seeking peace. And that's really wrong, because of the propaganda has been made that the military is now looking for the peace. This is exactly the NCA ceremony has been. The NCA, which they have the one who killed this, are now celebrating that they want to. So this is clearly, you can see that the military is not serious about the peace.
Okay.
But what I would like to warn to the international some friends that associating and dialogue is very different thing.
Okay.
Right now, the list of the country which the groups which are going to sitting on the lap of the military now with the NCA. This sounds like sitting next to Hitler talking about the peace, and that doesn't make sense.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there, but fascinating to talk to you, Kyaw Win. We do appreciate your time and your insight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.